The men's and women's college soccer tournaments are headed down the stretch run, and the National Soccer Coaches Association of America has you covered. It's the November 29, 2013 edition of the NSCAA Highlights and Ranking Show right here, right now on NSCAA TV.
It will be a night to remember for many at Santa Barbara's Harder Stadium on Sunday. For Penn State, this was the program's first road victory in NCAA play since 1998. For UCSB, it was only the second time in program history that the Gauchos dropped their tournament opening game, as well as the second time in 13 matches that UCSB lost an NCAA game at home. In the end, the Nittany Lions prevailed in a physical match that featured 37 fouls between the two squads. They took away the victory with a 1-0 shutout of the 10th-seeded Gauchos.
The level of effort, the level of intensity by our team in a pretty hostile place to play was fantastic tonight. UCSB has some wonderful, talented players. I think some of the better players we've seen all year long, and to get a result against them tonight was really something fantastic.
It took only 6 minutes for UCSB to find itself at a disadvantage to visiting Penn State. Gaucho senior midfielder Fifi Baden, possibly UCSB's biggest weapon on Sunday night, was dealt a red card for a tackle, and his team was forced to play 84 minutes with only 10 men. Despite being a man down, the Gaucho defense stepped up big in the match, allowing only 3 shots from the Nittany Lions offense in the first half.
It was an enjoyable game to play, and when we went down, it was just roll your sleeves up and fight, and that's what we've done all year, you know.
By the 78th minute, Penn State cracked the code of UCSB's wall of 10, and freshman forward Connor Maloney scored his second career goal with an 18-yard bullet off of a Jordan Tyler pass.
I saw the ball in flight to Jordan, and I knew he's a great forward. He held the ball up well. He gave it to me, and I just did what I had to do and did my job. And it was a whole team effort. I mean, everyone on the team contributed. Everyone on the bench contributed. Everyone was just upbeat, and it was a great game.
It was just really unfortunate that we gave them the one look, the one player who I thought was, in my opinion, their most dangerous player. And he got an opportunity, and he crushed that. I mean, that ball was, the minute it left his foot, there was no doubt it was going to be a goal. So I'm obviously really disappointed because I think that, you know, we could have kept going in this tournament. But tonight was a little bit much to overcome in terms of 84 minutes a man down.
Maloney's game winner helped the Nittany Lions to their third straight clean sheet, and Penn State now has a shutout streak of 290 minutes. Penn State will stay out west while it prepares to face 7th seed New Mexico in Albuquerque for the third round of the NCAA tournament on December 1st. The Nittany Lions will surely need time to adjust to that high elevation that the Lobos are used to playing at. But based on their luck so far with the West, it seems they'll be just fine with any challenge they face. For NSCAA TV, I'm Larissa White. Now we go to the Continental Tire Studios in Chapel Hill and Dean Linke.
All right, thank you so much, Larissa White. You've done a fantastic job all season long, and happy Thanksgiving to you, Smiling Bob Warming on the big win, everybody within the NSCAA and college soccer family. It is a big time of the year, so let's roll to what we've got on tap today for you. First, with the men's highlights. As you take a look at it here, we've got some big-time interviews as well. We'll look at the Division I Sweet 16. Reid, the UConn head coach, will be with us, as well as UC Irvine head coach George Kuntz. We'll take a look at the D2 and D3 brackets, and we'll also visit with Iowa Western Community College head coach Jordan Carver. They are your NJCAA Division I champions, and we'll also break down the NAIA. Then in women's college soccer, 2012 Hermann Trophy winner Crystal Dunn from UNC will be here in studio, as will Duke head coach Robbie Church with a couple exciting victories in the tournament. BC head coach Allison Foley also on the program. 6 ACC schools in your final 8. We got your D2 and 3 brackets. Division III's Trinity, Texas head coach Lance Key, and Iowa Western, they pulled a double at junior college Division I. Their women's head coach Brad Sylvie. Also with us and NAIA notes as well. A huge show, so big I can barely talk as we welcome in my broadcast partner Charlie Slagle. And Charlie, indeed, this is the most exciting time of the year.
It's playoff time, and it's exciting. We're down to 8 teams in women and 16 teams in men. It's going to be great, and just a little over a week away, you got the Women's College Cup right here down the road from where we sit right now. And then 2.5 weeks later, we're in Philadelphia for the men.
It'll be great. And he's got his UCLA colors on, so let's take a look at the brackets. The UCLA men is the #1 team in the tournament, and of course, they were able to beat Elon from just down the road here in Burlington 4-0. They'll take on Connecticut.
Dean, that 48-team bracket is so tough. Play Thursday for Elon and then have to get on the plane the very next day to go all the way to UCLA. North Carolina did something similar with UC Irvine. It is a tough way to make a bracket because the teams have to play twice in that same first weekend. Otherwise, you play only one game in the first weekend, and then the other team has to wait 2 weeks, and that's not fair to the higher seed. So UCLA, UConn, it's going to be an unbelievable match. Marquette and UVA. It's going to be great soccer all the way around.
Let's take a deeper look at that UCLA-Connecticut matchup as Jorge Salcedo in his 10th season. Now, as a player, he won a national championship in 1990. Of course, they're coming off that 4-0 win. How about Reid? His 17th season needed PKs to beat Pete Caringi's team at UMBC, and they won the national championship in 2000. And we talked to the very personable Reid. Now joined by Reid in his 17th season, the head coach of UConn. They get a penalty kick victory over UMBC. Talk about that matchup.
Yeah, I thought our guys did a really good job. You know, UMBC was seeded. We weren't. We had to travel to their venue. They lost once all year. And, you know, it was 25 degrees, 20 to 30 mile hour winds. I thought our guys did a really good job. We got a goal in the second half. Mamadou Jof beat a couple players on the end line and crossed it. Kyle Laren violated home. They came back and got a little bit of a dubious call, got a free kick, you know, and tied it up. We came back down, scored another great goal, Mamadou in the air of a cross from Adria Besso. They came right back down and tied it up. It was kind of end-to-end at that point. And then, you know, in overtime, Andre Blake made a great save to save the game for us. And then we beat him in penalties.
Now it doesn't get easy. The #1 seed is UCLA. You head to Westwood. You won't have to worry about the weather, but you will have to worry about a very good team. What do the Bruins bring, Coach?
Yeah, you know, we're just starting information on them, but they're a very good team. Jorge's done a fantastic job there, building on the legacy of Siggy Schmidt and Tom Fitzgerald and Todd Saldana. You know, they'll have the best players in the West Coast, and we're going to have to figure out a way to deal with them.
You won the national championship in 2000. How close is this team to that team?
I'll let you know in 3-4 weeks. I don't know yet.
All right, Reid, the head coach of UConn, thanks for being with us on the program. Good luck against UCLA.
Dean, thank you very much.
All right, Charlie, of course, the winner of that game will face the winner of Marquette and Virginia. Then on the other side, you mentioned those cross-country trips.
2 cross-country trips. You've got UC Irvine, who won with 2 seconds remaining in regulation over North Carolina, who had to go across the country. They left, I think, like at 8 o'clock the next morning after winning at about 9:30 on Thursday night. And it's UC Irvine coming to Maryland. Wild crowd there, but there's been some wild crowds for UC Irvine this year out on the West Coast. And, of course, Maryland's my pick at the beginning of the season, and they're still there. And then you've got Cal and Coastal. Coastal Carolina will have to go cross country. If both those teams win, the 2 seeds, Cal and Maryland, it's going to be a rematch of September 1 where Cal beat Maryland 3-2 in overtime.
And you already said it. Christopher Santana's unbelievable goal with just 2 seconds left has the UC Irvine Anteaters, also winners of the Big West tournament, feeling pretty good. And we caught up with UC Irvine head coach George Kuntz and asked him about that amazing game. Now join George Kuntz, now in his 19th season as the top man at UC Irvine, coming off a big win over the Tar Heels. Talk about that victory over UNC, Coach.
Inspiring. To see a senior like Christopher Santana, we call him Chino because of his curly hair, to see him score a goal like that in his senior year against a team like North Carolina, first time we've ever played an ACC team, in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Maybe his last game on that field, possibly. What a lifetime memory for all those guys in the last 2 seconds. I mean, we talk about playing past the 110 minute, and that was the epitome of it.
Up next, it's another ACC school, Maryland. But before we get to the Terps, the Big West tournament champions, UC Irvine. Talk quickly how the Big West has prepared you for a run here in this tournament.
Well, Dean, as you know, the Big West has some pretty impressive crowds. We play, some of these places that we think are pretty hostile environments. I find out things about my family I didn't even know when I go to those crowds. So we're pretty used to hostile environments, and we've played at Santa Barbara, and the numbers there, they're outdrawing some of the other big sports and across the country. And I mean, when we're outdrawing basketball in some cases in soccer in this country, we know we're making an imprint. And I think that the Big West has proven that over and over again. Santa Barbara, Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, and other teams in our conference have had pretty impressive crowds this year. And so I think our team has been used to it over the years. We walk into those environments, it creates an incredible atmosphere that we've wanted to see in college athletics, especially college soccer, for many years.
I promise you'll learn more about your family in College Park, though, coming up on Sunday, because Sasho Sorosky, the job he has done there, getting a crowd, and then also the team on the field. They won the national championship in 05 and 08. When you think about the Terps, what do you got to do to get a victory in College Park, Coach?
Got to find out where they're eating and get them some bad food first.
Exactly.
After that, first of all, Sasho's an incredible coach, a good friend. And it's pretty ironic that I was just there a couple of years ago, 1 mile away at DeMatha High School, recruiting Lester Hayes, who was, really 1 mile, a couple of miles away from College Park. And I remember it was one of the NSCAA conventions. I drove from Philly to College Park and watched a basketball game, which he was in. He played high school basketball there as well. So I had to go to a basketball game to help recruit this young man, and he's been pretty impressive. There's nobody that was flying higher yesterday to go back home to play in front of his friends a couple miles from his old high school. But we have to do a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of homework to be done between now and next Sunday. We know that it's going to be a hostile environment. We know that the weather changes quite a bit from what we had yesterday, 82, 85 degrees, to less than half that. So there's a lot of things that need to be done. First thing, we need to buy some cold weather stuff. So our assistants are on the phones right now, getting all that organized, and then flights and you name it. So and then as far as that goes, yesterday morning when I was, basically doing another review of North Carolina before we played them, watched the entire game of Maryland versus North Carolina, ironically, watched that whole game. So now I need to watch that game again and focus on the Maryland team. So I thought they were pretty impressive. And I've seen them a little bit this year. So, and I know Sasha, we went to coaching schools together, NSCAA schools together. So again, I know what he brings to the table, and I know how impressive that program is.
Appreciate the plug for the NSCAA as well. Hey, good luck at College Park, Maryland, UC Irvine, George Kuntz in his 19th year. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you very much, Dean. Appreciate it.
And today's interview with UC Irvine head coach George Kuntz, and all the other interviews and features on this program are presented by Shattuck St. Mary's, a college prep boarding school with a full-time residential soccer center of excellence for boys and girls, and a member of the U.S. Soccer Development Academy. We thank Jesse Fortney and Tim Carter from their beautiful Minnesota-based campus. To learn more, visit s-sm.org. Back to the brackets here, as we're down to 16 on the men's side, and there's the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They'll take on Wake Forest, another big ACC matchup, not just in the women, but also in the men.
No question, and Notre Dame, this bracket has all seeds remaining, 3, 14, 11, and 6. 22 of the 36 games were 1 goal or less so far in the tournament. Of the 32 games, 22 of the 32. And Notre Dame, with one of those, as they throttle Wisconsin 4-0. They played Wake Forest on November 2nd at Wake Forest, a 3-1 Notre Dame victory. Then you got Georgetown and Michigan State. Georgetown also with one of those 3-0 victories over Old Dominion, who had won 5-1 over Drexel.
Notre Dame, of course, led by Harrison Shipp with his 11 goals and 8 assists. And then Wake Forest, they have John Hart's son, Ian Hartz, then Luca Jimenez, Sean Okoli, and Andy Luban have been great. As you mentioned, the Michigan State and Georgetown game, Kevin Cope up for the senior award, and they got a big goal from Tim Kreutz. Adam Montague still out with a knee injury. He may be able to come back if they can somehow get by Georgetown and Brandon Allen and Steve Newman. All right, as you take a look then on the other side there, Washington, they'll take on Stanford.
Washington, Stanford, it'll be the third time they've played. They played October 3rd at Stanford. It was a 3-1 Washington victory. They played it November 8th at Washington. It was a 2-0 Washington victory. Can you beat a very good team 3 times in a row? This one, of course, will be at Washington because of the higher seed. And then Penn State in New Mexico. Penn State staying out there. Bob Warming does not like to fly, so he probably got that one flight and then they probably trained down to New Mexico, and they will be playing against the Lobos down there.
All of this show is presented by the good folks from Continental Tire. Continental Tire, innovative technology, driving confidence. Find out more at continentaltire.com. And of course, every team fighting for a spot for a position in the College Cup at PPL Park in Philadelphia. Speaking of Philadelphia, the NSCAA convention will also be there January 15 through 19. It is filling up fast, but you can still register at nscaa.com/convention. And in Philadelphia, you don't want to miss the NSR Australia NSCAA party, open bar, football freestylers. This is big for Charlie. The Real Housewives of New Jersey will be there as well. Christy Rampone expected to stop by. It's a free bar, and here's the deal with NSR Australia. They're a company who helps Australian soccer players obtain opportunities in the USA. They work at all levels of the colleges, from junior college to D1. They get them cleared academically and athletically as well. We'll be right back and look at the rest of men's college soccer from the Continental Tire Studios right here in Chapel Hill.
There's a reason soccer's called the beautiful game. Experience it live at the 2013 NCAA Men's College Cup, December 13th and 15th at PPL Park in Philadelphia. Affordable tickets now available. Visit ncaa.com/Men's College Cup.
Hey, Missy. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. I just don't want you boys to be late for your big game. Okay, have fun. I'll be right here after the game.
Continental Tire, the official tire of Major League Soccer.
Tra-la-la, tra-la, tra-la, leather.
Welcome back to the Continental Tire Studios here in Chapel Hill. Dean Linke along with Charlie Slagle. We've covered the D1 Sweet 16. Now it's time to talk Final Fours at the D2 level. Charlie, and exciting matchups here at the Division II level.
No question about that. No number 1 seeds are in. You have Southern New Hampshire is going to be playing Rockhurst. They were a 2 seed and a 3 seed in their bracket. And then you have St. Francis, who was a 4 seed, and Carson Newman, who was also a 4 seed in their brackets. And those games are Thursday, December 5th and Sunday, December 7th in Evans, Georgia. So it's wide open. All the number 1 seeds, which were LIU Post, Ohio Dominican, Limestone, and Cal State LA, are gone. So one of these teams is going to win this national title. And once again, that's going to be on the 7th, Saturday the 7th, down in Evans, Georgia.
Southern New Hampshire won on penalty kicks over Mercyhurst. Rockhurst beat Lindenwood. Carson Newman beat Rollins, a team we featured on this program. And Simon Fraser knocked off Regis 5-0. D3 Final Four. Let's take a look here at the brackets.
And once again, you've got these games are going to be played down in San Antonio. You have Rutgers Camden versus Loras, and then you have Messiah versus Williams. Big game against Williams getting there, beating Amherst. They, of course, are huge rivals, and this is the first time that Williams beat Amherst this year. Messiah, not number 1 ranked, which they normally are, had a 4-1 victory over Franklin and Marshall. Rutgers Camden beat Montclair 2-1, and Loras beat Trinity, who would have been the homestanding team. They beat them 2-1.
Let's take a look at the junior college level for women and men. The double pulled off by Iowa Western. as they win 3-1 in the championship game down in Melbourne. That is a big win for the women's program. And then on the men's program, it looks exactly the same. Iowa Western with a 3-1 victory. They beat Tyler in Tyler.
They did beat Tyler in Tyler. It was 1-1, 3-1 penalty kicks, I believe. Tourney MVP Falzo Alahadzik, and the coach of the tournament was Jordan Carver. Iowa Western beat Yavapai 1-0 in the semis, and they beat Tyler beat San Jacinto South 2-0 in the semis.
All right, let's take a look at both these coaches. And remember, we featured them earlier in the season, and here they are. Brad Silvey, the women's head coach, Jordan Carver. They've both been there 5 years, came into the program together. And guess what? We talked to both coaches after their championship victory. Joined now by Brad Silvey, the head coach of the NJCAA National Champion Division I Iowa Western Community College. They knock off Navarro 3-1. Congratulations, Brad. Talk about the championship.
Dean, thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you. The championship was something extremely special. It was an exciting game. It was a hard-fought game. It was very back and forth. We just did an excellent job of finishing on our chances and our opportunities and played a championship-style brand of soccer on a very important day. And we walked away the victors, and I couldn't be any more excited for the program, for our school, for our community, and just the team. Just a very special and exciting moment.
You were an assistant in 2006 and 2007 when they were runner-ups. When did you know this team could win it all?
Back in 06, 07, we had a good run at it, and we've been close a few other seasons too, and it was finally nice to actually crack the code and to come home with the big one. I can't speak enough for the program and for just the gratitude that we have with the support structure that's set up within our institution. It's just a very exciting and big moment.
Finally, it's the double at Iowa Western. The men's team under Jordan Carver also wins the NJCAA National Championship, and I'm going to give you the first opportunity to congratulate Jordan, who will join us right off your cue.
Yeah, I couldn't be any more excited for that program too. During our celebration out on the field, after we won the championship, we actually pulled them up on our phones and we tried to be there with them as best we possibly could. And it couldn't have happened to a more deserved program and a more deserved coach. They have an excellent program over there. I've been telling other coaches all year long that our men's program is fantastic. And I actually went into the tournament saying that if I had to put money on one team that was going to win, so I'm so excited for them and for what they were able to accomplish, and I'm so proud to share this moment with my good friend and partner, Jordan Carver. So congrats, Jordan.
Brad Silvey, we really appreciate everything that you've said about our team regarding our championship and our friendship. I think the world of you, Brad, and really am so excited that we could both win the national championship together, especially, obviously assisting each other for the 2 years that we did and be able to join Iowa Western as athletes together too. Congratulations.
What a great run for you, Coach, because you beat two of the most historic teams in NJCAA Division I, Yavapai, coached by Mike Pantaleone, and then Steve Clemens, Tyler's team in Tyler. What a huge run.
Absolutely. I couldn't be more happy of what this season has panned out to be. My boys fought in every game, did a fantastic job, and at the national tournament they came together, and really had to overcome a huge struggle in the championship game against Tyler, and they did it, and they did it in good fashion.
Now, you're a little bit banged up, though. Talk about what happened after the victory. Give us the quick story on your face and all those scars.
Yeah, well, on the way home, we were about on the Iowa-Missouri border, and one of the windows ended up breaking in, and we're going about 70 miles per hour, so the window actually hit me in the face. Could have been worse. Dean, I feel very blessed that this is the worst of everything. Basically, just got a little cut to the face, and I'm doing pretty well now. So I think we're still relishing in the championship game and the victory of being the 2013 national champions.
Brad Silvey must be a pretty good guy. He introduced you to your wife.
He did. You know, Brad, I met him in 2003, and we've been really good friends since. And luckily, he introduced me to my wife, Coley Carver, and I can't be a happier person.
Finally, in 20 seconds, what makes Iowa Western such a great place to play soccer, men or women?
It's the complete culture. We all really love the game. We're here for school, and we're here to make the great experiences. So great culture at Iowa Western.
Congratulations, you're a national champion, Jordan. Way to go.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Dean, and really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone that supported us here at Iowa Western.
Congratulations, Brad and Jordan. Now NAIA, 13 of the top 16 seeds will continue their seasons in Orange Beach, Alabama, including defending national champion and top seed Lindsey Wilson out of Kentucky. The Blue Raiders, who have hosted an opening round match every season since the format began in 2008, won their 29th all-time national championship match with an impressive 6-0 victory over Asbury from Kentucky. Lindsey Wilson is now 6-0-0 all-time in the opening round and boasts a 16-1 scoring advantage in those contests.
7-seeded Davenport from Michigan and number 8 Concordia from California earned their respective programs' first ever win at the national championship. Davenport, the only seeded team to not host an opening round match, downed St. Ambrose of Iowa 4-2, while Concordia knocked off John Brown of Arkansas 2-0. Robert Morris of Illinois and Cal State San Marcos were the only unseeded teams to record wins. Robert Morris, much as they have been all season, was fueled by 2 goals by All-American forward Florence Dadson, including the match opener only 24 seconds into the contest. Cindy Munoz netted the game winner in the 10th minute as Robert Morris downed Spring Arbor of Michigan, who was looking to make its 3rd straight trip to the final site 3-1. Cal State San Marcos avenged its regular season loss with a 1-0 triumph over number 14, the Masters, also of California. Jennifer Hager scored a winner on a corner kick by Brianne Searle in the 40th minute.
In the men, all 16 opening round hosts have advanced to the NAIA Men's Soccer National Championship final site in Montgomery, Alabama for the first time since the initiation of the format in 2008. The championship will be played December 2nd through 7th.
13 host schools won their opening round games, with the other 3 advancing to the final site via penalty kicks. Of the 16 matches that took place on Saturday, 7 required an overtime period. Auburn Montgomery from Alabama, Benedictine from Kansas, and Mid-American Nazarene from Kansas were the 3 opening round hosts who needed penalty kicks to advance to the final site. Ashford from Iowa, Baker from Kansas, Hastings from Nebraska, and Missouri Valley also required extra time to punch their tickets to Montgomery.
Indiana Wesleyan defended its home field, defeating number 15 Davenport from Michigan 5-0 for the lone upset of the day. The win was the first national championship victory for the Wildcats in their first ever appearance.
And all 4 Heart of America Athletic Conference teams advanced to the final site, though each required at least 2 overtime periods to do so. All 9 teams that entered the opening round via at-large burst also advanced to the final site. Of the 16 final site teams, 12 competed in the national championships last year.
There it is, done and completed men's college soccer. Charlie Slagle down to 16 at the Division I level. It doesn't get any better.
It doesn't get any better, and you said done, and that leads to your next guest, doesn't it? Crystal Dunn's going to be here.
Mr. Segway, the reigning Mac Herman Trophy winner, Crystal Dunn, will be in the house when we come back, as well as the head coach of the Duke Blue Devils, Robbie Church. More from the Continental Tire Studios in Chapel Hill, right here on NSCAA TV.
The new fall flooring styles are here, and we've got them on sale now at Lumber Liquidators. Save on new hand-scraped and exotic hardwood, bamboo, laminate, and more. Choose from 53 floors under $2 a square foot. Don't wait. Sales going on now at Lumber Liquidators.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
UNC superstar Crystal Dunn has Anson Dorrance's UNC Tar Heels, the reigning national champs, by the way, still in the forefront. The reigning Mac Hermann Trophy winners had another huge year with 14 goals and 6 assists, and she could win the Player of the Year again as the Tar Heels come in with 20 wins and 4 losses on the season. Crystal Dunn, who also won a world championship with the U.S. under-20 team, now playing for the national team. In 2010, she was the freshman of the year. Last year, she was the player of the year. We probably need 100 more pages to really tell the story of this talented player. And guess what? She's here at the Continental Tire Studios in Chapel Hill. Crystal Dunn, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Another exciting season for the UNC Tar Heels. Talk about your senior campaign.
I mean, it's been great. I mean, as a senior, I'm really starting to kind of take a different look on things, and you know, just watching all the players develop and me develop as just another part of this great program. I think. I mean, it's been going well. Just having the chance to lead the girls has been great.
Crystal, we're going to show you the Elite Eight in a little bit, but first we want to talk about the U.S. national team. You won the Under-20 World Cup. Now you're representing the full side. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's been a lot. Anyone who asks, I'm always saying, you know, I really haven't had a break, but that I would never change that experience. I mean, winning a World Cup is so hard to do, and just at that age, I mean, we're still developing as players, and I mean, just to beat Germany in the final was an amazing experience. I mean, they had taken us out 3-0 earlier that tournament, and for us to gather and get together and come away with the win was great.
Well, congratulations on that. We know you've got a bright future with the U.S. team. Now, speaking of World Cup, when you look here at the Elite Eight, 6 ACC teams in there. You've gone through that entire process. Now you've got to do it again. Now, you don't have to UCLA, but take a look at the bracket. You see 6 ACC teams there, and Robbie Church will talk about that as well, but pretty impressive.
Yes, I mean, it just goes to show you how tough our conference is, and I mean, I think it's the best developmental stage for us. We have a chance of playing these teams earlier in the season, so you know, when it gets to the NCAA tournament, you know, we kind of have a feel of, you know, what it takes to, you know, be a complete team. But I think it's great for the ACC. I mean, you know, we're combative, we compete every single game, and it's not easy to win.
And how important was it to get one of those top seeds? Because now the talented UCLA team has to come to North Carolina. You know it's not going to be easy against the Bruins. Talk about UCLA.
We had the chance of playing them earlier this season, and I mean, it was a tough game to win. We only won 1-0, and you know, they compete. I've had the privilege of playing with a couple of the girls, Sam Ewis, Sarah Killian, and they're great midfielders. And of course, I'm playing in the midfield, so you know, we're competing in there. And no, they're a great team, and it was definitely not easy beating them. So I know they're going to bring their A game this upcoming Saturday, and it's going to be fun.
They're coached by Amanda Cromwell, Darian Jenkins with 11 goals and 5 assists, Taylor Smith with 7 goals and 10 assists on the season. UCLA will come in at 21-2. Playing for Anson Dorrance, tell us what that's like.
You know, words can really not really fully explain this man. I mean, he has won so many national championships and has just accomplished so much. And I think winning last year, I mean, people always ask, you know, how does it feel to win the 22nd, 21st actual NCAA national championship? And he says it's as if it was his first, and that's what I take away from just that person. I mean, for someone who's accomplished so much, I mean, every success is something new, and I think it's just been great. He's a great coach, a great teacher, and he definitely values his players.
Well, you know, he says the same thing about you, too. You're so magnanimous. We called the game against Notre Dame. You scored the goal by a foot. They didn't call it, but the way you handled it after the game, I think, epitomizes the kind of person you are. Those are big words from Anson Dorrance.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, taking away from that game, I mean, you know, we all play this game. Things happen, and it's easy for me to get upset and just, you know, point fingers, things like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think we knew that it was early in the season, and you know, to take a hit early in the season is not the end of the world. We still had a very long season ahead of us, so I think it helped in the long run to just keep my head and, you know, look forward.
All right, I know it's not going to be easy for you, but I'm hoping you can also wish the Duke Blue Devils good luck as well, as Robbie Church is up next. Is that okay?
Yes, that's of course. I mean, we're all friends. Robbie's actually my really good friend. I mean, it's always a pleasure seeing him, and the team has been doing great. I mean, you know, I could just take from personal experience, losing in the first round ACC tournament, I think, is what really gave us that drive last year. So for them to bounce back and make it to the Elite Eight is just goes to show the character that they have on that team.
the reigning Mac Hermann Trophy winner, Crystal Dunn. Good luck the rest of the way. Good luck against the Bruins.
Thank you.
All right, that sets us up perfectly. We'll be back with the head coach of the Duke Blue Devils, Robbie Church, right here on NSCAA TV.
There's a reason soccer is called the beautiful game. Experience it live at the 2013 NCAA Women's College Cup, December 6th and 8th at WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. Affordable tickets now available at ncaa.com/Women's College Cup.
Take aim, America. Focus on your target and not the goalkeeper, and you will score more goals and win more matches. Practicing with the Ultimate Goal Sports Targets is the best way to train you to score more goals. Simply attach the Velcro straps to the net and you are ready for the best shooting practice around. As a special offer, we'll send you a package of 2 Red Bullseye Ultimate Goal Sports Targets for only $19.99. Sports Targets are also great for helping you hit the mark in baseball, tennis, hockey, lacrosse, and more. And for a limited time, we'll double your offer and send you 2 blue sports targets free. Just pay separate processing and handling. Take aim, America, and improve your game with the Ultimate Goal Sports Targets. Here's how to order.
In 2011, Robbie Church led the Duke Blue Devils to the national championship final game. And here comes the Duke Blue Devils again, led by an inspired play in the tournament. 2 PK victories over Colorado College and Arkansas, and a 1-0 win over Florida. And there he is right there, the head coach of Duke University, Robbie Church. And guess what? Here he is right here in studio joining me, Dean Ncaa, along with the head coach of the Duke Blue Devils. 2011 was a great year, and it looks like you're doing it again, Robbie. Pretty exciting.
We're thrilled. It was. 2011 was a great year, something that's memories that we'll keep forever. But this is a really special team that we have now. You know, they just refuse to lose. They just keep playing hard. They keep coming back. We've been knocked down a couple times this year, but here we are. We're in the Final 8. I don't think a lot of people really would have projected that we were going to be in the Final 8 about a month ago. But, you know, we've got a great bunch of seniors that played in that game and had prominent roles in the game in 2011, and they just won't let us lose. So we're fortunate. We're going to head up and play a great Virginia Tech team on Friday afternoon in Blacksburg. So we're just very happy to be there.
All right, let's take a look at the brackets. Okay. As indeed you do face Virginia Tech. Chugger Adair, great respect for that program.
Oh, wow, what an unbelievable job that Chugger has done up there. You know, they're very special. They've got a senior goalkeeper, and they got a senior attacker. So they've got a player who keeps it out of the net and is playing, and Jasmine Reid is big time forward for them. And they've got a couple freshmen, as you see right there on the video. What a great strike that is against a Santa Clara team. But they're relentless. They keep attacking out of you. They play out of their 4-4-2. They get a number of players forward, and then their backs. I think that's what really has separated them this year is the quality of the back four. They're very, very aggressive. They're great passers. They attack with their wide players. You know, they come at you from all directions, and they're a handful in all phases of the game, offensively, defensively, and they're very, very dangerous on set plays.
When you take a look at it, you'll play the winner of 2 ACC schools there, right. Boston College and Florida State. Right. Let's start with Florida State, led by Mark Krikorian.
Mark's done a fantastic job. I don't know of any team in the country that lost more players to graduation. And I think a lot of people in the ACC were thinking, well, Florida State was going to be down this year. But Florida State will never be down with Mark Krikorian leading the troops there. Defensively, they're probably the best team in the country. They play out their 4-2-3-1. They really limit the chances. They're very physical. Their center backs are probably the best pair of center backs in the country. She's an unbelievable player. They're strong. They're good positioning. They tackle well, and then they find goals. They're not the high-scoring team in the tournament, but they find goals. I think there's an incredible stat that they have, probably have built on their staff, but they have 14 or 15 goals past the 80-minute mark, going into the last 10 minutes or overtime to win games, which really tells you the mental toughness of Florida State and the quality of players that late in the game to come back and find either tying goals or winning goals. So I think they're one of the top teams, obviously winning the tournament. I think they're obviously as a #1 seed, but I think they're one of the top teams to win the whole thing.
How about Allison Foley and Boston College, Robbie?
Attacking personalities. I mean, they're all over the field for Boston College. They laid 4 on us when we were up in Boston College. They've done the same thing to Nebraska. I think they had 3 against Illinois in their last, so they got 7 goals in the NCAA tournament, second and third rounds. That's unbelievable. Again, they come at you with so many different McKenzie, Stephanie McCaffrey. There's so many quality players at their front 5 players. They play out of a 4-3-3, and their front 5 players are just great attacking players. Their question will be, can they hold their back 5? Their holding midfielders, their back 4, and their goalkeeper, which they've really gotten some quality play out of that, and that's why they're here going down and playing Florida State.
Allison Foley in her 17th season, 13th NCAA appearance. In 2010, they went to the College Cup,
right.
And we visited with her in Boston. As promised, we are joined by Allison Foley, now in her 17th season as the head coach of Boston College. She took her team to the 2010 College Cup, and she's just a step away again, taking on Florida State. Allison, congratulations on all your success.
Thanks, Dean.
6 teams left here, ACC teams. Here you go again. You played Florida State on October 3rd, a great game, 4-3. Talk about the matchup against the Seminoles, Coach.
Yeah, it's a team, Dean, that we know really well. They play a system that's we're used to. We've seen it. They haven't changed much over the years. We know their individuals really well. It's a great team, and it's been a 1-goal game for a long time. So it's sure to be a very competitive game for the fans, and we're really looking forward to get
show a goal right now of Mackenzie Meehan scoring against Florida State. 20 goals, a new record for the Boston College program. Talk about this player.
Yeah, Mackenzie Meehan's probably one of the most dangerous players. We call her the silent assassinator, because you won't see her, and then she just appears inside the box, and she just has a knack for scoring goals. Talk about a player that knows where to be at the right time inside the box. I haven't really seen anything quite like it, Dean.
I'm going to say it again, 6 teams from the ACC in the Final 8. How tough a conference is it?
It's tough. Every day, every game you play in season against an ACC team, you're preparing like it's an NCAA game. The coaches are fantastic. You know they're always going to be really prepared, and you know that they've scouted your team inside out. The talent level of players in the ACC is second to none, and you always want to play big games, and that's why recruits go to the ACC.
One of those teams still in it, the Duke Blue Devils. They've come on strong here of late. Robbie Church is in studio. I know he wishes you luck. Any message for Coach Church?
Yeah, I give Robbie and his staff and his group a lot of credit. Things mid-season weren't going as well as they were hoping to. They stayed true to the course. They turned things around. They've had a great run in the NCAAs, and he's a great guy and a great coach, and I wish Robbie and his team all the best.
He feels the same way about you, a great coach, great person. Congratulations on all your success, Allison Foley, and good luck. Hope to see you down the road here at WakeMed Soccer Park.
Sounds great. Thanks so much.
Indeed, Allison, Robbie Church does feel the same way about you. How about the other matchup here? The University of Virginia, the #1 team in the country, their only loss to Virginia Tech. They are led by Morgan Bryan. Might be the only player that could replace Crystal Dunn for player of the year.
Those are my 2 favorite college players, both Morgan Bryan, Crystal Dunn. They're both unbelievable players. They're great on the dribble. They're great. They share the ball. They've got, eyes in the back of their head. They both can score goals. They can assist other players and make their teammates better. better. And really, more important than that, they're both unbelievable young ladies. We got to know both of them in the recruiting process. Unfortunately, we didn't get either one of them, but they're both just wonderful young ladies, and they've got great futures ahead of them. And we got to feel good about U.S. soccer with players like that moving into our national teams.
Another great player. The Big Ten is represented. The ACC decided to let a couple teams in there, the Pac-12 UCLA Bruins and the Michigan Wolverines. Kem Ezerike has had a great season.
She has. This is a player I've not seen in person. I've seen some tapes from when we play some teams, but she's a big, strong young lady. She can score. She can score goals. Obviously Michigan, as Greg Ryan every year has taken that program and built it. And what it looked from afar was that they needed a goal scorer. And with her coming in a couple years ago, she's been that player that has, Greg's always been a great defensive coach. He's always schemed great defensively and always made it tough for a score. And now she's been able to score big goals in big games. And now Michigan's playing on the big stage here.
And Michigan will have to come into Charlottesville. The Michigan Wolverines led by Greg Ryan. Indeed, that won't be easy. One more look at it. Boston College, Florida State, UCLA, North Carolina, Virginia, Michigan, Virginia Tech, and Duke as we bring Robbie Church back on camera. First of all, 2 games you've won on penalty kicks. The other one, Florida comes in here. Yep. You've won 1-0. Just talk about those 3 games.
Well, we've been paired up. It's been a tough bracket. I mean, going out to Colorado and play Colorado College, it was unbelievable setting. The crowd that was out there was fantastic. The people were great. That was a war all the way down. We've had to, take a couple people home hurt with it, but we were fortunate. We got into penalty kicks. We made a change with our goalkeeper. Our second goalkeeper played a lot during the regular season, very explosive, and did a great job. So Steve Springthorpe, our goalkeeper coach, and I decided let's go with Allie. She was really doing a great job, and she was able to save 2 big ones in a shootout. She was able to save 1, and that's all we needed in the last game against Arkansas. So she's come up big. Our goalkeeper Megan Thomas has just done an outstanding job during the course of the run. Got the shutout against Florida. So, we haven't scored a ton of goals doing this run, but we've played really well team defense all the way back from our forwards and our midfielders in the back. And Natasha Anasi in the back is just playing like a senior who doesn't want to lose her. Caitlin Kerr, Kimmy DeCesar, Laura Weinberg, our seniors that have really had major impacts on this program are just playing outstanding.
13 years at Duke. We're going to ask him to hold serve. We're going to come back and ask him about why Duke is the most special place in the world for Robbie Church. Before we do that, though, let's take a look at the D2 brackets as we are now down to the Final 4 in Division II. And as you take a look at it, Grand Valley State, a 2-1 win over Minnesota Duluth. Dave Diani's done a great job. Jenny Shaba with 14 goals. American International also in. They beat Slippy Rock 1-0. The Yellow Jackets are coached by Matt Johnson and led by Sonia Bosma. Western Washington, a 2-0 win over St. Edwards. The Vikings, Travis Cannell, are led by Catherine Miles, 15 goals. In West Florida, we had that team on this show already. They beat Wingate 3-2. Joe Bartlinski has Chelsea Palmer with 12 goals and 14 assists. Then the D3 Final 4. We're down to 4 teams. Capital won on PKs over Washington St. Louis. Chris Coons led by Hillary Ells' 14 goals. William Smith with a 1-0 win over Ithaca. The Herons, coached by Alice Ann Wilbur, are led by Madeline Buckley. Middlebury beat John Hopkins, and the great run by Hannah Cronick is now over as Middlebury won that 1-0. Their head coach is Peter Kim, and Scarlett Kirk leads them with 16 goals and 4 assists. And then how about Trinity? They get a win over Wheaton 2-1. They're led by Emily Jorgens, 18 goals and 29 assists for 65 points. And Kelsey Falcone, 21 goals and 13 assists. The Final 4 is in San Antonio. That's where Trinity is, and Lance Key is their head coach now in his 10th season, and we caught up with Coach Key.
My experience here was fantastic. I think like a lot of kids, when you start to look for the right place for you, you tend to look far away. And I was the same. Ended up being right in my backyard, and then I'm from San Antonio. Trinity's a special place. It has a lot of meaning for me. Family's close. I'm from the area originally, and obviously being on campus, it's a very special community. I think that it's very unique in the way that it's set up and the way that we approach things. And so to be able to be back here and working with student athletes that are essentially going through many of the same things that I went through as a student athlete, I think is very, very important and has become very meaningful in my relationship with my players in terms of being able to understand, empathize with the things that they're going through, truly understanding the circumstances and the environment that they're in.
Finally, real quickly, what would a championship mean to you and the program, Ncaa?
Well, we've never won a national championship. This will be our third trip to the Final Four, the first since I've been here in the last 10 years. And, a championship is the same, I think would mean the same to our program as it means to any program. It's so difficult to get there. We've been close a number of times. We've been a penalty away a couple of times. And so just the challenge to get into the Final Four, as many coaches know, is so very difficult. And then to win it, I think takes something very special also. So, I think if we're able to get in and play well and give ourselves a chance to compete for a national title, it would mean a lot for the program, as it does for anyone. If you think to people like Anson, who have been there so many times and had so many successful trips to the Final Four, I feel certain he would say it still means so much to the program, to the players, to everyone that's involved in it. There's just such a large accumulation of work that goes into each and every season, from the players to the staff, the support staff, and that's no different for us. And so, to be able to do that, though, essentially right up the road from where we wake up and go to school and go to work every day, is especially unique and especially exciting in that we feel like we are almost at home for a Final Four, which is I think a great advantage, or certainly can be should we manage it well. But we're really looking forward to it. We're just really enjoying the experience at the moment and enjoying our days. We're excited to be able to train again this week in preparation, and going into next week in preparation for the matches. So we'll be diligent and excited all at the same time.
Bit of a home field advantage with the championship in San Antonio, Texas. Ncaa, a former star also with the Colorado Rapids, coaching his alma mater. Good luck in the Final Four, and thanks for being with us here on NSCAA TV.
It's a pleasure, Dean. Thanks so much.
Congratulations, Lance. Thanks for being with us here as we're back here with Robbie Church. And Robbie, as we talked about 13 seasons at Duke, but I don't think people realize this really is your dream job.
Dean, I'm just the luckiest person in the world. I get up every day and I go to my dream job. I grew up in Greensboro, kind of the heart of Tar Heel country as we sit here. I probably was the only Duke fan growing up. I had an uncle that went to Duke, and he used to pick me up when I was 3 and 4 years old and go to football and basketball games over in Durham. So I've been there a long time. And when I had the opportunity, I was at Vanderbilt, and when Bill left and went to Colorado and I got a call back, I think I ran from Nashville to Durham here. But I'm very, very lucky. So, our family's from Greensboro and wife's family's from High Point. So we're back home.
Hey, good luck on Friday against Virginia Tech. Thanks for being with us here, Robbie Church. And we've got more coming your way, though, folks. We'll be with you right through both the men's and women's College Cup, including back here next Tuesday as we take a look at the next show. We'll be here at 1 o'clock on NSCAA TV for another edition of the NSCAA Weekly College Highlights and Ranking Show. And guess what? We're not done playing games as well, as we will have the NSCAA Continental Tire High School Girls All-America game coming from Cardinal Gibbons High School. That's Saturday, December 7th at 2 p.m. and we'll bring it to you live right here on NSCAA TV. And then the following week up in Philadelphia, right outside Immaculata College, will host the NSCAA Continental Tire Boys High School game live 2 p.m. right here on NSCAA TV. So many people to thank that the screen is going to be full up for sure, led by Larissa White. I want to thank Crystal Dunn and Robbie Church for being with us as well. Look at all the SIDs that help make this show go, and we also want to thank the good folks at the NIA. How about from the NSCAA, Joe Cummings, the CEO, and everybody, but especially Kathleen Hermesh, who does a great job with the graphics. Kyle Lang and Taylor Hoggard. Ben is here as well. Dan, everybody at UNC New Media, Charlie Slagle. And I'm Dean Linke. To learn more about the NSCAA, visit nscaa.com. And thanks for watching NSCAA TV.